to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, folks, all on this rainy day. Very much appreciate you being here. So I will try to move things along as quickly as possible because I know it's going to continue. So thanks for coming on in. Oh, the VIPs, all right. Great to see you, Joe. Have a seat. Ready to go. Just get started. Good to see you, Joe. Jen. All right, so we're going to do two things today. So we've got the regular FDPC meeting, and then we do have the gala subcommittee meeting right after this. So we'll get into the details on that. But first of all, just on number 3 on the agenda, just as far as going through the past events. So the Allegheny Observatory lecture, I was not able to make that one. So any report back on how that went?
Very good. That's fantastic.
With the science stuff, yes.
Yes. I mean, it was great. I just was surprised at how much you knew.
Yes.
Did the tech work okay? Everything?
Oh, yeah.
Everything work out? You just plug in with the HDMI? Perfect.
Yep.
Well, I intend to go there next week, Thursday is the follow-up, so I'm going there next week. So
And you all are invited, we can accommodate, just that you can accommodate 30 people, so if you'd like to go, I was gonna send out an email to the people who indicated that they were interested in meeting us there. It's next Thursday, 8 p.m. So,
I have a question.
yes. 8 o'clock next Thursday.
Looking forward to it. That sounds great. I'm praying for next week. Sounds good. All right. Next thing we have then coming up June 7th, the Vintage Apple Computer Lab. So that's happening on June 7th. Unfortunately, I can't make it that day, but I'm getting another one.
Yes. I'll be here. Yeah. It's probably Saturday, yeah.
You have to sign up for that?
Yes. You do. Yeah. And I think it's $5 or $10 to reserve a 2-hour time slot.
All right. Anything else on June 7th? Great one. June 19th, the Chris Brave. This is the University of Pittsburgh economist. By the way, I did talk to John Schwen. He said that he's very interested in attending. And that's probably Abby would be most appropriate. And then as well, at the last campus volunteer get together, a few other people who are on different planning committees who are interested. I said he'll come in loaded for bear.
Well, he's gonna come in and see what he has to say.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I told him to come in ready to speak North Hills, since he's more more regional area. So I did tell him he may get some people on the planning side of things who know their way around the budget, know their way around how things work. So he'll be here on the 19th. And I did confirm him. So
Great.
It's working. I did also confirm with Wanda Haney. So Wanda has the horseback riding for the handicapped right across the street. So she has the horse farm there. We went through the flyer with her yesterday, so she's making some changes. But that's not for the
I
Senate.
have a question. She's doing it for the handicap, for horses, for handicap, I mean, that should.
That's part of it, yeah.
My suggestion on that is, but instead of having, for that, have a 50-50 raffle or whatever, we make and donate to her organization.
She would love that. I will speak for her. She would absolutely love that. Yeah. And she'll tell you that.
Sure, it's okay with to
Yeah.
do it that way.
And she'll give you the history of the whole area because her family owned, I think, where town hall is now. That was her family farm. So I think their family has been in there for over 100 years. So she'll give you the wide expanse of things.
Wanda is related to benefits. Beggars are right there. She's related
Am I not surprised, Joe, that I'll work with you on it. Get half there. Okay, is there anything else on the agenda anybody wants to add today? Just for the public comment on the agenda items. It's the usual set, we'll go a little more depth on the gala. So. I am going to move on then to just the approval of the previous meeting minutes. If folks have had a chance to review that, I don't think there's anything different that came out of that. The only thing that we did go through gala and we approved the gala subcommittee, making approvals and then just informing the group of what's happening. So that was the major thing that came out of the last. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting? Okay. And a second? Suzanne? Thank you so much. All right, moving on to the gala. So the annual gala, again, we did say last time we did have the subcommittee. The subcommittee started to meet. We did confirm November 1st at the Camelot in Wexford. So that is set now. That is the date, and that is the place. And then we did as well in the subcommittee confirm a list of 11 awardees. And again, we reviewed those last time. We did take one person off the list because they can't be there, but we've got the list of 11. So we're going forward with that list. We'll start as a subcommittee. We're meeting again after this, but we're going with that list of 11. Yes.
One note to that, the Longview Acres Garden Club is going in as a group. We're only getting 2 free tickets. This being their 75th year, we thought it appropriate to put them all in. And they have guaranteed quite a few seats at the gala, so we feel good about that.
I think it's great. I think that's just a great, almost experiment to see how that works. I think it's great, especially for 75 years.
Yes, it's really nice for their.
Yeah, great idea. All right, and again, we'll meet more. So our intention is most of the heavy lifting work will be done in the subcommittee, and then again, we'll report back to the FDPC and just get status updates if we need anything huge. But we're going forward right now with that date, the place, and the list that we've got. Any questions on that? All right, thanks. All right, just reports and updates from committee from a marketing and communication standpoint. I don't think you knew. I'm not sure if you have anything new about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to share what the most popular Facebook post was. So, actually, last month, May 1st. The post about the NA marching band quote that we have downstairs that was put together by someone with all the different band t-shirts from like the early 90s had a reach of 2.5 thousand and 23 likes. And the one that had the most likes was 37 likes, and it was the map, the black and white map of early 1920s McCandless. So that one had the most likes. But we've got a lot of new views, and our reach is 10,000. We've had 38,000 plus views, and 17 new follows. So that's pretty good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great job. Great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are other neighborhood groups that often share our posts, especially about programs and things like that too. So yeah, any sort of interaction.
Thanks. Any questions about the marketing and comms? And by the way, I still continue to send everybody to the one page here where you can sign up for everything. It's great. So at the Rotary Club presentation, that came in handy. This is people wondering where do I see it? So having it all in one spot that they can sign up for stuff really is helpful. Appreciate that. All right, budgeting. I don't know if there's anything new on the budget front. Actually, Don, I thought you had a question from last time.
No, well, I was questioning the
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I did ask Brittany for an updated budget. Should have been in my stack of
We're
papers.
glad the
today,
question was when the budget comes out. We're gonna start looking at the budget here in July.
Okay,
You're probably gonna get a sheet, probably get a sheet from that. Probably sometime in June, we'll start vetting the budget. As Amy very well knows, we go through, a process. We go through a couple of different editions of that budget. I wouldn't think that you're gonna see any decrease from what you had this year, because we're looking towards next year. Money's weren't spent last year. So we understand that last year the activity was way down from the previous year. We're looking at the activities now, and we're looking at what the track record is. And I mean, I'm being totally upfront with you because I've been where you are.
yeah,
Okay, and I know exactly what you're looking for. There are some things that we did here that now we have the Parks and Recreation Department that's doing. So we did that to try to get people in the door. So my advice to you, even though I'm outside looking in here, is to create bets that you're going to get people in the door and think outside the box. Because every person that comes in here, we study about this right after you left. When we got people in the door for stuff that's outside of the box, we had like a 70% return rate. What we did the driving movies, and we did the soccer days and whatnot. Once people come in here, they realize how special this place is. That's the way life.
we haven't had a problem that.
I mean, I'd be happy to invite you, I'd be happy to even help organize something like that, but I can't do it all myself. Well, the thing of it is, and those are great things. You want people to look at this place, and maybe you do this with the library. You want people to come in that wouldn't normally come in, because then you retain them for life. So, while it's great that you get these church groups and whatnot, we need to reach people that are younger age. We need to get them interested in the history and the heritage of this area.
Talk about the scouts.
Scouts are great, but they're one segment. Scouts are a very small segment of the population. You want a diverse, you want a diverse small. You want people that play sports. You want people that dance. Okay? Because maybe you have one of these dance studios come in here on one of these Thursday nights and put on a little demonstration or show. Getting more people involved, getting more people from diverse backgrounds has to be a part of the Parks and Recreation. That's the only way to progress.
Okay. Any more questions budget wise? I think we're okay. All right, from a programming standpoint, we have started to put together speakers for next year. So there's two people that have made contact, or two new folks that we haven't had speak before. I'm sorry, one we did, which is History Hobo, which is from Dan 20. There we go. His name is Steven Cicero. This seems like a really good guy. Like, oh yeah, so you have to move right here. standing room only. Yeah, I love that. This is great. It's great.
That's one of the things at the library.
Yeah, so what we're doing, he's just doing fantastic. So we did pencil him in for our March speaker, but he's very flexible. So that's him. The other guy we've got, which Steve Cicero says he would pay to listen to this guy read from the phone book. So that, his name is Brady Kreitzer. So he's a historian with Robert Morris, but he's also on History Channel. He's on news stations, podcast channels.
Make a little money and do some voiceover work for the Heritage and Cultural Center Shining Star video.
That I do not know. I can ask him. I can ask him. He's kind of he's in London right now giving a presentation. So he's definitely well traveled. Yeah. So but seems like a super nice guy. I feel like I know him because I've listened to a billion of his podcasts. So we haven't seen him on TV. He has written, I think, 7 books. His specialties tend to be anything in American Revolution, French and Indian War, Fort Pitt, Native Americans of the area. Whiskey Rebellion is a big one. George Washington Creole, that's how Steve Cicero. But he has a ton of stuff. So it's like kid in a candy store type stuff. So it's like the options are gigantic. And obviously he does this really well. So he's an excellent speaker. And I would believe what Steve tells me as well. So Steve just seems like he's good. So I still haven't agreed on a date with him yet. So I'm going to give him third Thursdays of the month. That's what we're going to look forward to again, 7 p.m. So basically the same as this year, March through November. That still was the. All right, so those 2 that I've got contacted right now, but we'll start putting together the agenda. We want to make sure it coincides with the 175 anniversary as well, to make sure the programming is appropriate to it. And I love Joe's idea of like just try to mix some things up.
We were brainstorming earlier today about some like campus specific programs that we should do next year to coincide with campus 175. That would be Harmony Line, the Nike missile sites, Baby Frank Farina again. Ross Park Mall will celebrate its 40th birthday next year. That was a very popular one that we did. Scott as well.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do some partnership with them all on that. Also, some new topics, if we can find experts in these fields, but Brown and Bond would be an interesting topic of discussion. The oil derricks in the area.
Larry Schweiger. Larry Schweiger.
Eczema Pharmacy, maybe Jay Eczema wants to come talk. Maybe Ron Eichner wants to come talk. And then if we can get the history Bobo to talk about Perry Highway.
Yes, the
that
highway
would
is
be
wonderful.
wonderful.
That would.
You know what? You remember when Bigfoot was hanging out in the Wally Run?
Was he?
Because
A totally different ancient alien.
it's full there.
You're awesome.
Well, it's not here. It's over in Hampton.
But they're under the school.
Some of those have pictures. Some of the other municipalities.
Yeah.
One of the ideas I know we've had in the past is some of the Shining Star Award winners. Are any of those folks good speakers that you would want to bring up? Because obviously they've got a good connection. Whether they've been running a business, or they've been doing something in the community. That I think, especially with the 175, that they're in the community. If there are some really good speakers.
Well, I think here's the idea. For the 175. There's a lot of them in the block. We read the whole yesterday. In fact, I want to bring this show. I have people at the county and state level, and even at the United States Senate level, come in and do that.
I will throw that into the ring of
I
consideration.
I also hope that our celebration of 175th is not from 1 to 9. I think it should be 3 or 4 days.
We can discuss that later, but yes, I totally agree.
And I think this facility needs to be a part of that 3 or 4 days.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, anything else? We're just starting to make this out for next year, so we're getting there. So we'll get going after we've got the gala stuff coming. We're starting to fill out for next year. Okay, I'm going to move on to volunteers because I know Suzanne, you have some immediate needs on the volunteering front. So I know you sent out requests. So I'll send it over to you about just an update on the volunteer front. I'm sorry, I thought you sent out an email.
I did.
Okay, yeah.
Did you get people to fill those spots or no? Did you get people to fill those spots?
Actually, I did. Well, I wasn't, I'm not sure about Dan and Rich and Cheryl, but they're kind of, all kind of come here and there. I didn't bother Rich, but Cheryl and.
So then what days do you,
Well, then, Cheryl was taking, 2 Fridays off, so it's Friday. Friday and the next one. So that's all for now, but this is gonna be a little worse, that's sure. Goes on vacation.
why don't you give me the call? I'll be on the call. I'll do it.
Okay. And I was a little pleased that,
Excellent. Yeah. All right. I'm going to move on then. Is there anything else? Anything else on the volunteer front? Okay, it's just bring it up. So, all right, on the operations front, all right, the Trinity Lutheran group visited in early May. I was here. Suzanne, you want to give it?
just worked out really well.
Maybe a dozen people.
That's great.
They were very pleased with everything.
Yeah.
Confident.
And I am getting, just so you know, I am getting informally in the neighborhood as people get to know, like asking about could they get informal tours like that, like a small
I
tour.
mean, I would love that.
Okay, all right. So I did say I said I know the person to talk to. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to that. Yeah.
Okay. That's, thank you so much. All right, then just the Red Hat Society is going to visit on June 8th. Do you need any coverage on that, or do you have some?
Yeah, I made sure that
And then
on here,
that's
Wednesday
there.
or Friday.
That's what's good.
Yeah.
The link is the best.
All right, the guiding documents that Abby did not be on.
Yeah, so, I had our Saturday, librarian, volunteer, start to document and scan all of our Guyton Civil War letters. So she has scanned all of them into the computer. I bought some materials this week, like an acid-free preservation box, some sleeves to put them in to better preserve them. And I think at this point, now that we have them all on the computer, we're gonna go and try and transcribe them. So that way we can see what they say.
So
I saw that, yeah. So that's a project that I have Caitlin working on, and, yeah, just wanted to.
Great.
thank you all.
I think that's
Yeah, so an archivist from Ohio reached out to me. She was hired by the Guyton family in Ohio to do a family history. And she reached out to me about, she saw on Facebook, I guess, about the sword and the documents. And so Amy helped me locate a picture that they have in their collection of descendants of this guy are planning a trip here to the Heritage Center sometime this summer. Yes, I spoke with him as well. Yeah. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Excellent. Great team. I can move on to the loan from Heinz History Center.
Yeah, just a reminder that the carousel panel will be leaving us for conservation center next, well, this fall. It'll be gone probably until 2027, at which point they said they'll return it to us as a loan. Nice. But she said whenever they do come pick it up, we can loan something, borrow something from their collection to fill that space. So,
Mr. Rogers Strong.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So if you, just a reminder, just look on their website, to see what they have, photographed in their collection already. So you can do a search on their website to search, McCandless, North Hills, so just something relative to our collection that we can substitute.
I loved all the old baseball stuff.
I,
Yeah.
that's
Awesome.
something that I.
I'm a baseball fan.
But that wasn't really.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. Figure out a way.
So we'll probably, what we'll do is make a wish list, of maybe our top 5, and then
They want
she
to do
can
that
approve it.
in conjunction with some of the experts that we have, like television and radio. They got us here 3 or 4 years ago. If you got stuff from like KTV, go and say, some of the stuff that they have with the Heights History Museum coincide with some of the things.
Yeah.
Just the fun. Shut up.
All good stuff, all good.
So the McCandless 175 committee applications are online, and I would love to have a formal representation from the Heritage Center somewhere. So someone would to join. Hey. Okay, you've been voluntold.
Great.
I
Thank you.
looked at the application, I'm so torn. It's construction.
I know.
It's a minor construction. It's just minor. Tiny. We're not. Yeah, I get you.
Or even if you have a representative from the library, I would love that too. But we can discuss that, but yes,
Make sure you get it. It's not here, so I mean,
Okay, well, that's wonderful. Yeah, I just need someone, who is a designated Heritage Center person, because I don't think that committee, excuse me, HCC person, because I don't think that committee will be complete without that portion.
Yeah, honestly, Kevin, if you need help, feel free to be on me or anybody else.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
The brick program. So I found Bricks Are Us. Yes, it's real.
Wow. That's a great name for it. All right.
It is
I know what it is.
Yeah. They make the bricks that are exactly like the ones out on the so I am planning on, the way it works is you take orders for them here. I put the order form online, or people can order them online through our little link website. I haven't set a price yet, but I thought that would be a nice thing to resurrect for Campus 175. Probably just roll it out this year.
You can roll.
how much they cost?
They're like $9.
I know.
They're really cheap. So we can charge whatever we want.
We should get the different cards. But not like that. Yes, I gotta say. Example of what not to do. Timely.
So once, I'll get that program together, and then set a price.
I just think that sounds great. I mean, people come and show them their whole family. That's my great.
We tried to do that before you had to get like 50.
Yeah.
To do it, so now. That's great.
We used to say the great previous project.
What's that? CDW.
Yeah, you have enough bricks out there that are empty. If you filled every brick with $100 brick,
Good idea.
you're talking some pretty big.
Oh, I know. Good idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
Start going on. Okay, another thing I've been working on is I met with Lori Borkowski, a couple weeks ago. She had approached me about the ME Cunningham. They were a stamp company over in Franklin Park, and the building is still over there.
Yeah.
Her dad ran that company. She's got a lot of information about it, photographs of the men working in that Franklin Park business. So maybe that could someday be some sort of display over there. That would be nice.
Her maiden name was Spiker. Spiker family has been, they've lived in the Camelus. Somebody from the Spiker family has lived in the Camelus for the last 7 years.
Yes, and her mother was a server.
Yes.
So she grew up on Sarver Lane. And she said, as a secondary thing, she has a whole bunch of Sarver family information about that property on Sarver Lane.
History tapes that I donated, a couple of servers in there.
Out there.
And at the library, we have books with other material and photos that in some cases that.
Okay.
For sure what we have in the server. Written history.
The house that someone coming up time for kill where the storage things are, the servers lived in that house, that was the original house.
Okay.
Because we lived right there, I know from, yeah, we lived right down the hill. Breakfast shop, they were, they were friends. But their house is still sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that one, that's still sitting there, that one.
I asked Kevin to design a T-shirt logo that I had envisioned. Remember the license plate that said "You've got a friend in Pennsylvania"? So it would look like that. It says "You've got a friend in the campus," and then, like the letters and numbers on there say HCC. What is it? 1870, whatever the year the campus was chartered.
And instead of having the key seven.
Maybe with the Heritage Center logo.
That works.
So I'm working on getting pricing for those T-shirts. And
No.
Are they for sale out here, or are they for the volunteers?
they were for the volunteers, but I think they're, I like them. I think I would buy them. So we should sell the extras. Let's see. So there's something. There's the HEART grant, the Heritage. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so it's, I believe it's a state grant that is a conservation grant. It's for governments. Oh, yes.
Our grant is available, but it goes to the 501c3, which you have at your disposal in the Campus Community Association.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that that would be the process.
I believe for this one, you can be municipality. Yeah.
This one was government.
It's like a handful of, less than 5 grants that we can apply for as we are. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interject.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
good to know.
that was perfect.
Yeah. I believe that was due. Sorry, but anyway, I thought that maybe we could apply for additional materials to conserve the guide materials and also Judge Buchanan's books. Would be a good thing for that. I had told Caitlin about that as well, and she said she would be willing to help. So I'll get all that information together and then I told
Great. Oh, the library.
Well, my final bullet point, is I met with two ladies from the Northern Library last week, which was wonderful. We talked about doing a library backpack, so the library has, we use the bird watching one as an example. So in this backpack, there's a book about, different birds. There's a list of birds that you might see in the park. There's a list of mushrooms that you might encounter in the park. So it's meant to be taken out and like as an experience kit kind of thing.
Oh, very.
Yeah,
There's
I like
very
this.
strong and has.
so, so I thought I would like to do one of the canvas. So we would include the book that you and Diane made. The scavenger hunt, and then the history book. Maybe some other activity that you can do with the canvas. The coloring book is in there. So I have some notes of things that we could do, and just wanted to make you aware that it works as well. They check them out. Yeah.
Short Sport does a great job every year of finding backpacks for needy students. I would think that Short Sport would be a great sponsor for that. And give you X amount of dollars, and it would be. This is not just for you, but it's for Amy. The Short Sport backpack program. It's a way for them to further notification of this, but it's also a way for you guys to get some revenue out of it too. I mean, you've never met Richard Bassett.
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
Good guy.
he's a wonderful benefactor, let's say that.
Did you talk to them about the
So we did too, yeah.
What happens if, would you be open to doing something where the backpacks from Bassett are distributed from the library?
So it's a back to school thing.
Where do you get people used to using the library? Just a thought.
Anything else on
Say
your?
no to anything.
I think that's a fine. That's great. That's good.
So I'm not gonna say no to anything without giving proper thought, so.
All right, and that was the last thing we had on our agenda. Unless there's any other comment about anything else you want to add to the agenda or anything else to discuss? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
We'll take a motion to adjourn.
Here, do you have a second? All right, thank you so much. Great time, folks. Thanks for your time, especially on a rainy day like today. We are doing a subcommittee after.